Hi everyone, it's me. I want to talk about reciprocity today, which is basically reciprocal or reciprocating. And I want to kind of apply this to relationships, friendships, family relationships, etc. And maybe give some suggestions on what to do if you are in a non-reciprocating relationship. That means what you're giving, you're not receiving. So, I wanted to talk about what to do when a relationship ends that you have not wanted to end. You thought this relationship was going to last either a longer time or forever, and you're really struggling because you want more than anything for that person to come back into your life and to be a part of it. And there's absolutely nothing more desolate. Sorry, I'm getting emotional already, but there's nothing more desolate or anxiety ridden than being in a situation where your love is not being returned, and so on and so forth. But I wanted to talk about when someone breaks it off and it's no longer flowing, whether it was a healthy or unhealthy relationship, and you so desperately want that person to come back. You're lowering your standards in order for to grovel, beg, and plead, and all those other things that cause us not to become weaker, but to become a lot more desperate. You see the people that have been known to stalk other people just to get their attention. There's a lot of things people do when they're at the end of their rope and they don't want to let go of the person that they loved or that they were in an intimate relationship with. It's a hard place to be. But I want to tell you, I know how very difficult it is when someone you love breaks free, or there's a breakup, and how absolutely anxiety ridden it can be to want to get them back, even to the point where you are willing to succumb to their wants and desires and needs in order to just have them around. I'm not going to give any specific examples regarding myself, but I've had friends who were in relationships with guys who the guy said, well, I want you to do X, Y, and Z. And initially, the person would say, no, that's not my cup of tea. But then they agreed to do what that person wanted in order for, to get them back. And I see a lot of parents, when their children break free, they are willing to do anything to get them back. So that means become destitute, let them move in, give them money. Here's my car, here's my everything. They kind of are willing to do whatever it takes to get their child back, no matter what. And I'm going to let you know, when there is a price tag on your relationship with someone else, a price tag on your body, a price tag on your pocketbook, whenever there is a statement saying, I'll have a relationship with you if you XYZ. And that's a very bad place to be in, because it's almost like demanding a ransom. Well, you can have your child back if the Lindbergh, I think the Lindbergh kidnapping was one of the largest. I'm not quite sure. I don't quite remember, but they demanded a certain amount of money for the release of their child. And that's just the way it was. But it's almost like there's a ransom. Well, you can have me back if you pay me, if you give me, if you do this, if you do that. It's almost like if you humiliate yourself in some sort of way, that will prove to me that you love me. For me, I have family, friends, and I have relationships, and not once has anyone in my life currently expected me to give outside of what I'm able to and I'm willing to. But no one in my life would ever say to me, well, if you want me around, you're going to have to let me use your car, or you're going to have to give me some money, or I'm going to have to move in with you. There's not a price tag on a reciprocal relationship. So when you're looking at the people that have walked out of your life, that are either holding your grandkids ransom or holding themselves ransom, if you just give me XYZ, I'll come back around and see you, or we can talk. And maybe sometimes when you're looking at your relationships, if there's a price tag on the relationship where your child is financially reliant on you, they come to you asking for money, they can't survive without you, that's not a reciprocal relationship. That's just one person using another person. And if the money were to run out, would they still be around? Probably not. So all I wanted to say is healthy relationships are reciprocal. They're give and take. I'm not saying that we are all on the same playing field or on the same echelon regarding finances, strength, wealth, things like that. So in a friendship, there's always a give and take. My friendships really have nothing to do with money. We just talk, we hang out, we rely on one another when the going gets tough. And that's just the way it is. So just think about your relationships. If someone walks out of your life, I know the first thing you want to do is beg and plead and say, please come back. I miss you. I love you. I want you around. What do I have to do? But when you have someone that is unconditional and loving and kind, there's nothing you have to do in order to get them to communicate with you. So whatever you do when you are feeling anxious or desperate to have your child back, or to have a lover back, or an ex back, take a deep breath, make a list of what you need and want in your life, write down reciprocal, find out what the definition of reciprocal is, and start putting that into practice. And start looking at the people in your life that you have reciprocal relationships with, where there is a give and take, where there is no expectation, where you don't have to buy them, where you don't have to give them anything in order for them to come back and see you. It should be that they want to be around and they want to hang out with you and they make plans, and that's just the way it is. So that's all I wanted to talk about, is reciprocal relationships. Take stock of the people in your life, everyone in your life. Write down everyone in your life. And if you have reciprocal relationships, check mark those people, and then slowly but surely phase out the people that you don't have reciprocal relationships with. The beauty of this world is that we do have freedom of choice, and we do have freedom of choice to stay in certain relationships, and we do have freedom of choice to leave certain relationships. So make sure your relationships are reciprocal. If you're a giver and you like to give, and that's part of your love language, great. As long as you're giving with a open, cheerful, and unconditional heart, wonderful. But there should never be an expectation that the value of a dollar is placed on the relationship in order for the relationship to continue or survive. Because let's just say you do have money and you're pretty generous, and all of a sudden one day you go out and you say, you go out to dinner and you say, and you've been very generous to certain people, and you go out and you say, well, I forgot my wallet. The people that step up and say, you know what, I've got this, I'm taking care of this for you, those are the people you want in your life. So that's all there is to it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm heading into the gym for my workout. Wish me luck, and I'll be back.